Over the years, players have found a whole load of different distractions in the world of GTA 5, many of which have proved to be far more entertaining than they have any right to be. But GTA games have always been kinda silly, so why not have a little fun with them? Here are a few of the things nobody can resist doing in GTA 5. Okay, so you just spent your money on a giant strawberry mask. A giant strawberry mask with googly eyes, no less. Pretty great, right? And sure, maybe it doesn't serve any real tactical purpose, what with it being, well, you know, a giant strawberry mask with googly eyes, but that's not the point, is it? The point is, you look great. The same thing applies to those dope glow-in-the-dark shoes you just bought too. And so what if you had to drop a few thousand in-game dollars on them?
Excuse me. I got this interview at this tech company. I'm thinking I need something, I don't know, geeky, youthful.
Lost your job and the world's moved on, huh? That's too bad.
Yes, while your hard-earned cash could always be spent on more useful items, it's hard not to resist plunking down your ill-begotten cash on a wardrobe full of ridiculous outfits instead. Every time new items appear in the clothing stores, players around the globe tend to turn a game usually full of drug deals and shootouts into something not unlike a fashion montage from a 90s rom-com. And this is especially rewarding when you go online with your friends, where all of you can show off your new costumes to each other, and get into some really weird-looking trouble together too. You're here because you love video games, right? Well, Rockstar knows that, which is exactly why they've included playable arcade games in a number of installments of the GTA series. These include games like the Metal Slug parody Invade & Pursuit 2 and Don't Cross the Line, which plays like a neon-drenched version of Snake. Now, these games can be a neat little distraction to all the chaos and destruction going on in the outside world, but it's still kind of hard not to think about the fact that you're basically playing a less impressive game inside of the really good game you're already playing. It'd be like if Batman dropped what he was doing in Arkham Knight so he could play a round of whack-a-mole at the Gotham City Fairgrounds.
Spank me.
Still, these games are a charming enough part of the GTA world that it still always feels like you've got to play a round or two when you come across one. Throwing down with NPCs is pretty much par for the course in Grand Theft Auto, no matter which installment you're playing. After all, if you overhear someone being obnoxious or rude to you, it's basically good manners to respond by clocking them across the face. And this is especially true when you're playing Trevor in GTA 5. While other protagonists in the series have been a little more restrained with their violent tendencies, Trevor is a straight-up psychopath, and it doesn't seem all out of character for him to put a stranger in line. The only drawback to this kind of aggression is that it will likely nab you a wanted level, and then you're looking at some pretty significant escalation. Honestly though, it's still kinda worth it.
I don't mean nothing by it, man.
I know.
I'm messed up.
I know, cowboy. It's okay, man. Give me a hug, yeah.
Here's a rule for Rockstar to live by. If something can be broken in San Andreas, you can be damn sure that GTA players will figure out how to break it. So when gamers discovered the giant orange ball on top of the juice stands in areas like the Vinewood Hills, you had better believe they immediately tried to work out how to cause the most chaos possible with it. In case you're wondering, the ball can be disconnected with just a few well-placed knocks or bullets, after which some players prefer to just let it roll down the hill into heavily populated residential areas, trampling the populace like a scene right out of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Others, meanwhile, prefer to try to load it in the backs of their trucks, taking it elsewhere to cause mischief and mayhem. There's really no wrong way to enjoy the giant orange ball, as long as you create as much trouble as possible with it. Just like in real life, jumping out of an airplane without a parachute isn't really a great idea in Grand Theft Auto. Unfortunately, the game's ragdoll physics make it just too much fun to resist. With the press of a button, you can send your character careening through the sky, or out of a moving vehicle, tumbling wildly through the air. There's absolutely no reason to do it, other than the fact that it's really fun. Practically every character in Grand Theft Auto is susceptible to a number of different vices, many of which the game allows players to act out freely. Inevitably, that means it's very easy to hurl yourself around the game in a flurry of smoking, drinking, and drug use. GTA 5 actually courted a bit of controversy a while back when it was revealed that characters could smoke marijuana in-game. In fact, some fans are so enamored with the effects of alcohol and drugs in GTA Online that they've even taken to figuring out the exact math behind each drink, in an attempt to discover which ones get your character drunk the fastest.
Yeah, I got things to take care of in a little place called reality.
You want a drag?
Nah, I'm not a drug guy.
This isn't bushweed. This is mana. I grew up myself. No paranoia, no weirdness.
Everyone knows at least a little about the many myths of the Grand Theft Auto series. Some of them, like the rampaging wannabe Bigfoot in GTA 5 or the ghost cars of San Andreas, have basically been proven to be true. But there are still many more that have not. Still, many of these myths seem just plausible enough that they warrant further investigation.
Whew. Greetings, CBL. Carbon-based life form.
Greetings, homie.
Have you seen them, CBL?
Seen who?
I don't know. They came to me last week.
That's why so many GTA players have taken to putting on their tinfoil hats and spending years combing through every inch of the world map in search of its secrets. Grand Theft Auto 5 in particular is full of a number of dark hidden gems. These things were only found because fans couldn't resist the urge to wander off the narrative path and into the unknown. So give it a go. Who knows what you'll find out there? This is another one of those diversions that is ultimately a little silly and totally pointless, but still so hard to resist when the opportunity arises. The idea of parking yourself on rail tracks isn't to stop the train or even slow it down, but rather to see the fireworks that ensue when different vehicles are placed in the path of an oncoming locomotive. Nonetheless, attempting to halt the trains has become something of a recurring challenge among the GTA community, with players using everything from vehicles to huge crowds of people to, well, pretty much everything. Some players have even used the environmental mods to see if the trains can withstand the forces of nature. And while the trains seem to be mostly impervious to these roadblocks, that hasn't stopped players from trying anyway. When you're playing GTA Online and you see one of your buddies getting chased down by the police, it's basically your duty as a teammate to help them get out of trouble. Interestingly, however, it actually feels just as rewarding to do the same thing in single-player mode, even if it means jeopardizing a mission you're on. When you're out on the road and you see a fellow criminal being chased down by the LSPD, there's a good chance you'll feel the irresistible urge to help them out. The best part of this is that the game will actually sometimes reward you for getting involved, paying you in cash for rescuing the fleeing criminal. Then again, the police might start chasing you down if you try to take out the criminal thereafter. But hey, outlaws gotta stick together, right? Sure, there are actual street races already built into GTA, which allows players to challenge each other online or race against NPCs for a shot at glory and a nice payout. But there's just something that feels so good about peeling out in a drag race when no cash is on the line. Unless the person you're racing is one of your friends, or you're planning to share a video of the race later, you're not really doing it for the bragging rights either. It's just a weird primal need to beat somebody in a race.
Talking of fools, what would you say if I told you some fools I knew were running a little racing competition? And as luck would have it, they got this really beautiful silver medal with your name on it.
I say go fuck yourself.
Players have discovered a bizarre glitch in GTA 5 that turns ordinary automatic gates into catapults. By driving into a gate that's in the process of opening, it trips something in the game's physics engine that sends your car flying through the air like it's on its way to Oz. It seems to be a bit easier to pull off with a lowrider, but the results are always funny, no matter what vehicle you manage to launch. This is another one of those weird little quirks of the game engine that doesn't really serve any particular purpose. After all, it is a bug, but once you discover how to do it, it's hard not to want to do it every single time you come across an automatic gate. And there's something especially rewarding about the fact that there are so many of those gates in the fancier part of town. Launching your old beta car into the stratosphere and soaring over the houses and lawns of the upper crust, well, it just feels right. When you play as Franklin and ride around with his dog Chop in GTA 5, your weapon wheel will include a baseball, so you can play fetch whenever you want. However, it is possible to use this harmless little ball for a more dastardly purpose. If you pull up to a convenience store and select the ball, the clerk inside will begin handing over their money and pleading for their life, reacting as though you've come in with a weapon. Even funnier, Franklin will also act as though he's holding a pistol, barking orders at the clerk and inciting the most oddly upsetting robbery of all time. This is another one of those glitches that players have discovered in the game that is so utterly bizarre that you just have to try it for yourself. Look, nobody is saying you should cheat during online play. After all, that just ruins the fun for everyone else. Not to mention the fact that it could earn you a swift ban from the game too. But cheat codes have been an integral part of the Grand Theft Auto series since the very beginning. And if you're in the mood to just mess around town, why not give yourself that extra edge? GTA is already about wacky wish fulfillment, so it really just adds to the fun if you can make your character invulnerable or grant them infinite ammo. And then there are the mods. It's really quite hard to talk yourself out of turning your version of the game into the most OTT, silly, and downright bizarre version you possibly can. And luckily, the options are practically limitless. You could turn your character into Superman, complete with superpowers, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, or even Godzilla. Why not, right? Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more SVG videos about your favorite games are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.